What's up, everybody? Welcome to Greektown Wrestling. I'm here with the legendary Jerry Lynn. Welcome to Greektown Wrestling.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Off the bat, the fans love to hear this. What were your favorite wrestlers growing up?
Oh, wow. There were so many. I can tell you the very first wrestler I saw when I was 6 years old was Baron von Raschke. Wow. And the Crusher. And loved wrestling ever since. But in the early 80s, early and mid 80s, we got cable, and then I could see every territory. And one of my favorites was Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Hot Stuff. Okay, wow, we're going way back.
Yes. Okay, all right, are you saying I'm old?
No, you're looking
I get it. I get it.
Now, I gotta ask now, your first championship, or ECW that you won versus Just Incredible.
It was a big moment. It was one of the highlights of my career. Plus, it was in my hometown, and it was one of the loudest things I've ever heard in my life. So it was a special night.
A special for sure. Is there any matches that just stand out to you, like, wow, that was my favorite match, or anything you really enjoyed?
There's so many. Yeah. I've had matches I've enjoyed with Just Incredible, Lance Storm, RVD, Chris Candido, AJ Styles. Yes. The list could go on and on. So, it's hard to pick one, but I know there is one. Everyone likes to talk about the pay-per-view matches I had with RVD, but There was one for TV at the ECW arena. I liked that one better than our pay-per-view ones just because the way the people were that night. They were just blowing the roof off the place.
I can imagine.
And it just made for, that was another highlight in the career.
For sure. And I also checked that you had 41 matches in total with RVD. I believe so. 41.
I don't know. It's a blur. I've been hit in the head a lot by Rob. No, but I can't forget X-Pac. When he was a Lightning Kid, we had at least a 2-year feud before we tagged together and went to Japan. So that was a lot of special moments. And Eric Cannon runs First Wrestling in Minneapolis, and he brought X-Pac and I to wrestle each other for the first time in like 17 years in Minneapolis, and that was a special night too.
Wow, that's iconic. Now, your character in WCW, your masked character.
Yep. Yes. Yep.
Let's talk about that as well, because not that many people know about this.
They don't? I thought the name was obvious.
No.
I didn't pick the name. They gave it to me, but I thought.
How did that name come apart? Like, how did it come up?
It was just thrown on me about an hour and a half before going live. They said, what do you want to be called? I'm throwing out names like the Cyber Knight, the Phantasm, stuff. They go, well, we don't want to just slap something on you without researching any copyright infringements. They said, what the hell? Call him Mr. Jail. My initials? Why? How?
Yeah,
that was.
This makes no.
Yeah. And I spent $1,250 getting that outfit put together, and I was like, this is the beginning of the end.
Do you still have that mask?
No, I sold it so I'd never have to wear it again. and people will come up now to this day and go, I didn't know Mr. Jail was Jerry Lynn. And I'm thinking in my head, duh.
The initials are there.
Yeah, but I just tell them, I throw a little swerve. I go, no, that was Jushin Liger.
No, that's fantastic. I got to ask now, if there's like a dream match, the fans love hearing this, because they could just dream in like video game land or whatever it may be, figures. If there's a dream match, Jerry Lynn versus anybody. Now let's go past and present.
Past would be Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert.
Yes.
Present would be Pac.
Pac. Okay, wow. The fight with Steve Corino.
Yes.
Now everybody knows this.
Which one?
Years.
We had quite a few too.
Now when you had that huge, it was like, I called it Blood Master, when you had that match, and you wrote down die here.
Well, it was because we had just started our feud, so there wasn't a lot of, what's the word? We weren't put in a position on the pay-per-view to be a, semi-main or main or steal the show match. So I was thinking, what's one moment I can give the fans something to remember? And so a buddy of mine, we're sitting in a bar talking about it, and I said, well, time for a little fire-up spot. I'll just do the war paint. And he goes, that's not good enough. This is ECW. And then I went, oh, that's when the light bulb went off, and okay, I'll do this.
And that's how it just came
And
apart.
so that's how it came about, and it was so funny because when I was doing it, once I started doing it, I could just feel the heat rise in the building. And then once I wrote die, and I turned and people could see what I wrote, they all were standing up and screaming and yelling and waving fists, and it was like, duh. And I'm looking around going, what a bunch of sick bastards. And then I thought, oh, who thought of it?
I say, the Cradle power driver, how did that come about?
That, I got to give credit to Nova. Because in ECW, he was very innovative. And I said to Nova one day, I said, I cannot come up with a finisher. Can you help me come up with a finishing move? And the next week he comes up and he says, remember Dynamite Kid in Japan using the Cradle pile driver? And I go, yeah. He says, well, give that a shot. And it stuck.
And you're active, you're coaching AEW and Ring of Honor as well. So like, how's that whole role for you going on there?
Oh, I love it. And having to quit wrestling for a living was a real downer, a bummer. And it was because I knew I had so much more I wanted to learn. Of course. Because you never stop learning.
Yeah, never.
And that's why I enjoy this. I'm learning along the way, too. And then even if I'm stuck helping coach a match, I would ask Jake or Arn Anderson, I go, can you help me out here? I'm stuck. And they just open your eyes to, I have learned so much here from all the coaches too, because everyone looks at everything from a little different angle, you know. So you never stop learning, and that's fun. And then when you pass something on and teach the younger guys, and you see the light bulb go off, and they go, oh, that's the reward.
Exactly. You got inducted into the Hardcore Hall of Fame 2010, and then the Indie Hall of Fame 2022. What did that mean to you, to get inducted into those, getting recognized?
Oh, it was very honored. It's funny, the Hardcore one,
You deserve that.
It was actually at a Ring of Honor show, and I was told, I didn't know, I was told you're going to be cutting a promo. So they gave me some bullet points, and I'm working on this promo, and I would go to Cornette. I go, how's this? And I think I went to him like 2 or 3 times, not knowing I'm not going to cut a promo. They're going to surprise and induct me, and it was Cornette in the ring. So it was a surprise. And then later on, I'm thinking, well, I was probably driving Cornette nuts, kept going to him about this promo, and he's probably thinking, shut up, you're not cutting a promo.
And he loves to talk.
And then what was the indie one? I was very honored by that too, because I thought over the years, I think there was really only 2 times I didn't work indies, and that was when I was under contract with WCW and WWF. But everywhere else, I worked indies my whole career.
But to be recognized is just an honor for sure.
So, definitely, that was a big deal.
Is there a message to somebody young, up and coming wrestler that looks at you, like just even for inspiration, like how you just came up and stuff, like, wow, I want to do what Jerry Lynn did. Is there any inspirational words?
Oh, well, I was just talking to someone the other day. I said, you're only going to get out of it what you put into it. Because there was times early in my career where, like, I moved to Nashville for Memphis, the old USWA. Then the next winter I moved back again for Global, and then I moved to Atlanta for WCW, and then moved to Orlando in case any wrestling doors didn't open up. I could get stunt work at Disney or MGM, but ECW called. Then I moved back to Minneapolis to be with my daughter more, and then when TNA started up, I moved back to Nashville. So, and then Sean and I, we would, be going to Japan, and we went to Global and do our feud there, and guys at home would be going, well, why aren't we getting anywhere? Well, the phone ain't going to ring off the hook.
Exactly.
You got to throw your crap in the car and go get it.
Go get it, exactly.
So you're only going to get out of it what you put into it.
Yeah.
And back then, there was no internet. There was no social media. There were no cell phones. It was a lot harder. And I say, always have a resume. Exactly. Of who trained you, what companies you've worked for, because you're really applying for a job. Yeah. Have 8x10s, have some of your video of your work. Now, back then it was on a VHS tape. Now you can have it on a stick.
Highlight reel.
Yeah, exactly. Always have that with you and hand it out. And it worked for me. That's Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert brought me down to Memphis, because I gave him.
Exactly, your tape.
Yeah.
I know that.
So right you're only going to get out of it what you put into it.
Exactly. There you guys heard it from the legendary Jerry Lynn here at Greek Town Wrestling. Thank you so much, sir.
My pleasure. Thank you.